Hey guys, this is the Cryptojarhead coming at you with a Saturday video. I do apologize for the lack of videos this week. Been a long week, both with work, still trying to get moved into the new house. I mean, we have everything here. Now it's just, the unpacking and cleaning and sorting and organizing and all this, that, and the other. And the little bit of free time I have had has been spent mainly with the WPI team. We've all been working overtime on these games, trying to get everything squared away, get all the refunds out for the original bad piggy game, the bad contract, as well as trying to stimulate the gears. We got a lot of hands and a lot of fires right now working for you guys, trying to get everyone taken care of and in the green. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get this out. I still am waiting on the internet guy to come bring a router and do all that internet stuff to get the Wi-Fi working. So I will try to upload this today. If I can't upload it right now, I will probably go out and hit the Starbucks and mooch off their Wi-Fi while I'm sipping on a coffee. Pay $4 for a cup of coffee. But, it is what it is, guys. So, I wanted to go over a general strategy for idler games. So this will encompass the 2 idler games that are out now. We are releasing a 3rd idler game later tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. Because of our experience with that first one, now we want to absolutely make sure that absolutely everything is perfect before we release these games. And this new game will be focused on getting Gears of Famine rolling. The idea behind that, Gears of Famine has the most Ethereum of the 3 gears in there. So we're trying to get everyone cleared out of Gears of Famine. This idler game that we were releasing probably will not generate enough Ethereum to do that. But, hopefully it'll get at least a few people through those gears. And of course, stimulating Gears of Famine will stimulate both of the other gear games and help those as well. And the idea is that hopefully the people that get turned out of Famine through this game will put some of that money back into Gears of Death. That is the only one that is open right now. We closed Famine and War. So you cannot buy into it anymore, but you will get paid out of it. So if you have Ethereum in there, like I do, don't worry, you will get it back because we're going to be releasing games and doing everything we can to get everyone out that is currently in it. Now we do have, we are tracking the last people that were in there before we closed those games. So if you want to interact directly with the contract via Etherscan, you can. Obviously I'm not going to tell you that you can't, but you will receive no support from us as far as getting your Ethereum back. So once we have the last person in right now through, if you choose to try and jump in after that, you're on your own. Eventually you should get paid out, but we're not going to break our backs to ensure that you do. Because right now, just the thought that people are stuck in the gears kind of makes us sick. That's not what we're about. We want everyone to make money and have fun doing it. So that is what we've been working on. Now, for the piggy games, and keep in mind this is my strategy for any idler game I get into. The first thing I want to put out is that I don't really look at idler games as a serious way to make money. I think that they're fun, and I like playing them, and you can make a little bit of money doing so, but I don't really go heavy in these things. I don't pull out heavy. I just have fun with them. I think that's kind of the point. But everyone has their own strategy when it comes to these games. So, in a nutshell, here's mine. I think it's best to build up your production before selling. So spend a day or 2 or 3 just kind of building up your production, reinvesting, because it compounds, right? So every time you reinvest, you're producing more, which means that the next time you reinvest, you'll get more of your production unit, whatever it is. In our case, we have the Franklins for the War Piggies game and the Integrity Warriors for the Integrity Warriors game. So anyway, it compounds and gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're going to want to increase your production, because if you stay with your initial production, it won't take too long before you're just really not making anything. Obviously you will produce forever, as long as you're selling every day. Now, our games have a lock time. You only produce for 24 hours from your last transaction. So that means you have to log on at least once a day to play. Now, if you are an hour or two over that limit, you're only losing an hour or two of production. But if you don't log on for 3 days, well, you just lost 2 days of production, man. That's 2 days of profits or 2 days of production building. Obviously your stuff will still be there. They're not going to disappear, but you're losing time, and time is money. So what I've done is I spent the first 36 hours building up production. Okay, then I switched to selling, and my goal is to sell until I have 1.5 of my initial investment. So I put in 0.1 initially. I'm going to sell until I've pulled out 0.15, which I am very, very close to that. And then what I'll do after I've gotten 0.15 out is, now I'm in the profit. Now I can do what I want and have fun with it. So I'm going to go back to building up my production until I've doubled my production. Then I'll go back and sell another, 0.1, maybe 0.15, and then continue building. And, I view that as a cycle. And the idea is that the cycles will get shorter and shorter each time. So this time it'll take me about a day and a half or so to pull out that 0.15. And at the next production cycle, hopefully it should take me about a day, or maybe a day and 6 hours or something to pull out that 0.15. All right, and it'll just get shorter and shorter every time. So for an example, I'm going to use Integrity Warriors. I initially invested 0.1, and I got around 6,000 warriors. Now, I wasn't really planning on making a strategy video for this, but I've been seeing a lot of questions in the Discord, and I've gotten a couple of direct questions. So I figured maybe I should make a strategy video on it. But since I wasn't initially planning to, I wasn't really writing down exactly what it was that I was able to purchase. So I apologize for the approximations, but they're pretty darn close. Just don't get mad at me if I'm off by 1 or 200. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So anyway, my 0.1 initially got me around 6,000 warriors, and those were producing somewhere around 500 integrity per hour. The first 12 hours, that first day, I reinvested 5 different times, and at the end of that first day, I had 18,000 warriors, and I was producing approximately 800 integrity per hour. About 12 hours later, I had a little over 10,000 integrity that I purchased warriors with to bring me up to around 30,000. And about 10 hours after that, I had 12,000 integrity, which got me up to my new total of 44,254 warriors that produce 1843.9 integrity per hour. So my initial goal when I started is I had around 500. I wanted to triple that. So I wanted to be producing at least 1,500 integrity per hour before I started selling. I went a little over that, which is fine. But that's when I started, decided I would start selling. So I wanted to triple my initial production. You can choose to double it, triple it, quadruple it, whatever works for you. I just wanted to triple it, so I did. And then I started selling. Okay, I had around 14,000 integrity, which I sold for about 0.06. Since then, I've sold twice for around 0.02 each time, and I've gained a total of 74 Revolution tokens, specifically from the Piggies game. So that is another important note with these games. You don't get straight Ethereum back when you sell your integrity or your knowledge, which I think is kind of funny. Every time I click that sell integrity button, I feel like a scarlet woman. Anyway, you don't get straight Ethereum back. It buys Revolution tokens with you. That's how these interact with the Revolution contract to help Revolution 1, and at the same time, help the gears to spin and all of that. Now, obviously, 0.06 Ethereum is not going to generate much in the way of dividends for any of the Gears games, but every little bit helps. So anyway, as of right now, I have pulled my initial investment back. So I'm about even as of right now. In Revolution tokens. So, if the ETH in the contract doubles in Revolution, then I'll, have about doubled my money, approximately. But that's neither here nor there. By the end of today, I should have sold enough to get that 0.15, that I'm shooting for. Either way, I'm, at the break-even point right now. So tonight, I will sell, and if it only gets me 0.14, then it only got me 0.14. Either way, I'm still in the green, and it's still all good. And so tomorrow, I'll be going back to producing, to increase my production. My goal is to reinvest till I've doubled my warriors for a total of 90,000 warriors, at which point I'll sell another 0.15. And once I've sold about 0.15, I will, again, double my warriors for a new total of 180. Sell, double, sell, double, sell. You get the idea. Once I've got, 1 million warriors is my benchmark. That's where I'll stop producing, increasing my production. Then I'll just slowly sell everything I've got. I'll just once a day, open it up and sell it until there's nothing left in the contract, which could be, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks from now. Who knows? Nobody knows. Anyway, 1 million is my benchmark. If I'm doubling my warriors each time, I will be over 1 million. So if I stick with the 180, then I'll have 1.44 million. And if I, because I'm kind of playing around, I might go up to 200,000 warriors instead of 180, and that would get me about 1.6 when I'm all said and done. But either way, once I go over 1 million, that's when I'll just stop with new production. And I just want 1 million integrity warriors just to have 1 million integrity warriors. I think that'd be kind of cool. How much you end up stopping at is, of course, up to you. Now, important notes that I have, and this isn't just the Piggies game, this is with all idler games. You can easily spend a ton of money on gas. So to kind of counteract that, what I do is I do transactions for about 6 GY and 200,000 gas, or a gas price of 6 for 200,000 units. You get the idea. Now, when it's slower, like at the end of the night, I might be able to get away with bumping that down to like 5 for 150 or 6 for 150. And I have done that a couple of times and it has gone through. But I've also ran out of gas a couple of times when I tried to do that. So, and if you run out of gas, you still pay for it. Just nothing happens. So you're just wasting money when you run out of gas. But 6 and 200 seems to be, or 200,000 seems to be a pretty safe and fairly quick, less than a minute for it to process. It's not right away, but, it doesn't take an hour to do either, so there's that. I also look at these games, for the long haul. I try and stretch them out as long as I can, but they're not, I don't look at them as like a serious investment, like moneymaker kind of a thing, like I would, speculating in altcoins or, getting into ICOs or something, but they're fun, so I don't ever expect to 5 or 10x my initial investment, really, because my ultimate goal is to have over 1 million warriors. But if the game ends before I can do that, then it ends before I can do that. No big deal. The point is, I just don't want to lose any money playing these games. I just have fun with them. So there is another note. I start with small initial purchases because I don't view it as like a serious investment thing. But another note is that Dan the Revolution Man is paying a marketer out of his own pocket, a marketing specialist, to bring in 10,000 new people into Revolution 1, or at least expose them to Revolution 1, so 10,000 clicks into Revolution 1 over the next month. So that should help with a lot of things, it should increase the amount of Ethereum in the Revolution 1 contract, which will help our token prices. It should get more people playing the gears, it's important to note right now that Gears of Famine and Gears of Death have been disabled. You can no longer buy into them. You can only buy into Gears of Death. And we did that to try and help everybody move along, because right now there's just too many gears to choose from and everyone is stuck. So with only one possible game to play, everyone that wants to play will be playing that game, and that game should move quickly. And of course, if one game is moving quickly, the others will be moving. Slower, but they will be constantly moving. So once, if you're already in, you will get paid out, and all of the games that we come out with from this point forward will be specifically focused on, all these games that come out have a developer wallet, which, was originally designed to go to the guy who came up with the game and paid for the game, as a way to pay him back. But right now, WPI is handling, we are putting out all of the new games. At least until everyone that's in Gears has been turned out of Gears. With that being said, the developer wallet for all these new games will be specifically focused on a Gears game. We're coming out with a new Idler game either later tonight or maybe tomorrow. Just ironing out just trying to make sure everything is on the up and up, because the absolute last thing we want is another Bad Piggies. The first one that launched that had a bad contract. That's what we're calling it, is Bad Piggies. Which I think was it about 70% of the players or something like that. 70% of the players have been refunded so far, and we are working to get the last, we're working to get that up to 100%, but that should be very, very soon. So if you haven't gotten your refund from the original contract and you played it, don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you. We're going in order, so your number is just not up on the list. Think of it as another Gears game for right now. Damn, that guy makes a lot of Facebook posts. Anyway, so all in all, things are looking very, very good for the Revolution. We have a lot of things coming up soon. We're still working on getting some non-Gears, non-idler games out. So we've got like a coin flipper game in the works. We've got some dice games that we're trying to figure out how to work. And a few other things. Like I would like to see like a card game like High Low, which is just it's a silly little game that we used to play when we were kids, and it was pretty easy. You just take a deck of cards and you flip the top card over, and then you guess whether the next card is going to be higher or lower than that card that is showing. So it's simple, it's easy. But I used to have a lot of fun playing that, so I think that could work very well in this environment. So we've got a lot of things in the works, guys. A lot of things that are happening. Now, hang on. I do want to go directly to the game, and I'll show you guys how to play real quick. Holy shit. Look at that battery. Oh, no. So anyway, when you first load in, you'll get this screen. If you're on a computer, it'll look a little different. It should look like the rest of our games do. We're using the same website guy for all these games, so they're all very similar. So you'll, when you initially put in, you'll do whatever you want to initially invest. So we'll just go crazy in 0.5. Now there is a small bug. It is missing a decimal. So that would be 22,434.1 integrity, not 224,000. I wish that was the case. But anyway, the next screen down will be how many integrity warriors you have, or it'll be Franklin's if you're playing War Piggies. And it'll show you how much you're producing. This is the vault, so this is the total amount of integrity that has been produced in the game, and underneath it will be a counter, right? So 23 hours and 30 minutes until the vault is full. That's that 24-hour limit I was talking to you guys about earlier. Or you have to reinvest or sell, or else your vault will fill up and your production will just stop. It doesn't go anywhere, so if you take a few days off and you come back and you sell it, you'll immediately start producing again. But you just lost production time, so that's not good. Down here is the contract balance in Revolution 1. Your estimated value of tokens, so okay, 0.11. Look at that. It's gone up a little bit. Yeah. I'm that much closer to my 0.15. Which I did do a fresh wallet just to keep this, because I wanted to see how many Revolution tokens I could get strictly from piggies. So I'm not sure why that only says 69.1. It should be 73.9. So small little tweaks with the bugs. The total number of Revolution tokens, and then of course you got these same four guys on the website. There's your Ethereum value right there. It's kind of hard to see on mobile, but so that's quick down and dirty of the website, how to play. So once you buy, obviously you'll have to confirm that transaction, and then it'll process, and boom, it'll show up, and this will still be blank. You will still it'll have question marks, right? You won't have any integrity warriors yet, but you will have right here. It'll say use blank integrity, blank being what you just bought. So you're going to want to push this green button as soon as it pops. So as soon as it fills with your integrity or with your knowledge, if you're playing War Piggies, you're going to want to press that button. And it's another transaction, but that's okay, because that is how you buy your integrity warriors or your Franklins if you're playing War Piggies. And those are what produce your knowledge. So if you just buy knowledge and you just want to hold on to it to sell, I hate to tell you, but you're gonna lose money. even if somehow you're able to sell it for exactly the amount of Ethereum you put into it, you are still buying Rev tokens when you sell it. So you're still going to lose money. You need to produce. It's an idle game. You slowly make more money. But I've had a couple of people on the Discord that were like, "Yeah, I bought integrity, but it's not producing any integrity. Like, what's going on?" I was like, "Did you use it? It's the green button." I'm like, oh, which is it's okay. Not everyone has played these games before, so it is what it is. But anyway, I am going to wrap this up because I'm staring at my battery life right now, and it's not good, guys. It is not good. So I'll try to upload this right now. I'm going to plug in my phone, and hopefully it works. If not, I guess I'll upload it a little later. Have a great Saturday, have fun, and Jarhead out.